When we think of Napoleon Bonaparte, what comes to mind? The brilliant general, the short man in a big hat, the emperor who conquered Europe. We picture him on a rearing horse, hand tucked in his coat, a figure of immense power and military genius. But what if I told you the story we all know is only half the picture? What if the Napoleon of our history books, the one defined by battles and ambition, is a caricature missing the most fascinating parts of the man himself? Today we're going to peel back the layers of legend and look at the side of Napoleon history rarely talks about. Napoleon the administrator, the reformer, the man who shaped modern society in ways that have nothing to do with cannons and cavalry charges. Let's start with something you use every day, though you might not realize it. Look around your house, at the street signs, at the way your city is organized. Much of the logic behind modern life can be traced back to Napoleon's obsession with order and efficiency. Before him, France was a chaotic mess of old feudal laws. There were over 300 different legal systems depending on where you lived. Imagine crossing a river and suddenly being subject to completely different rules. It was confusing, unfair, and held the country back. Napoleon saw this and said, "No more." He gathered the greatest legal minds in France and in monumental effort created a single, unified set of laws, the Napoleonic Code, or the Civil Code of 1804. This wasn't just a minor update, it was a revolution. It established the equality of all male citizens before the law, it protected property rights, and it guaranteed religious freedom. It was so clear, so logical, and so modern that it became the foundation for legal systems across the world, from Europe to Latin America, and even influenced laws in Louisiana. Think about that. Every time a contract is signed, a property is bought, or a legal dispute is settled based on clear, written principles. We are living in the shadow of Napoleon's legal revolution. He didn't just conquer nations. He gave them a blueprint for a modern, functional society. But his reforms didn't stop there. He was a micromanager in the best possible way. He standardized weights and measures, introducing the metric system that scientists and most of the world use today. No more confusing pounds, ounces, and feet that varied from town to town. He created a central bank, the Bank of France, to stabilize the economy after the chaos of the French Revolution. He understood that a strong nation needed a strong economy, and he laid the groundwork for modern financial systems. And what about education? Napoleon believed that talent, not birth, should determine a person's future. He established the lycée system, a network of secondary schools focused on a standardized curriculum of sciences and humanities. This was designed to produce a new generation of skilled leaders, administrators, and military officers, chosen for their ability, not their family name. He created a meritocracy, the idea that you could rise through society based on your own hard work. And talent was radical at the time, and it's a cornerstone of our modern ideals. So the next time you see someone graduate from a public university, remember that Napoleon helped pioneer the idea of state-sponsored education for the public good. He was also a patron of the arts and sciences. He established the Louvre as a public museum, making the world's greatest art accessible to everyone, not just the aristocracy. During his campaign in Egypt, he didn't just bring soldiers. He brought an army of 167 scholars, scientists, artists, and engineers. They were tasked with studying everything: the ancient ruins, the local wildlife, the geography. This expedition led to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which finally allowed us to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and unlock the secrets of a lost civilization. Napoleon wasn't just interested in conquering land. He was interested in conquering knowledge. He saw himself as an heir to the Roman emperors, not just a military might, but as a builder of civilization. Of course, we can't ignore the dark side. His ambition led to years of brutal warfare that cost millions of lives. His reintroduction of slavery in the French colonies is an undeniable stain on his legacy. He was a complex, contradictory figure, a progressive reformer who was also an authoritarian dictator. But that's what makes him so fascinating. History is never black and white. The image of Napoleon, the general, is powerful, but it's incomplete. The real, lasting legacy of Napoleon is not found on the battlefield of Waterloo. It's found in our law books, our schools, our museums, and the very structure of our modern states. He was a whirlwind of energy, a man who would work 18-hour days, obsessing over every detail of his empire, from the design of a soldier's uniform to the structure of the national budget. He was a force of nature who dragged a feudal, fragmented Europe into the modern age. So the next time you hear the name Napoleon, I hope you'll think beyond the battles. Think of the man who codified laws, built schools, and organized a nation. The man who, for all his flaws, was one of the most brilliant and effective administrators in history. His greatest conquests weren't countries but concepts: equality before the law, meritocracy, and public education. And those are victories that have long outlasted his empire. Thanks for watching. If you found this hidden side of history interesting, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories that challenge what you think you know. See you next time.